day before in Italy, there was a powerful eruption of the Etna volcano, the highest and most active volcano in Europe. Long lines of people can be seen rushing down the hill where the volcano erupted. The owner of one of the tourist companies told the TV channel that about 40 people were on the Sicilian volcano at the time of the eruption. According to eyewitnesses, the eruption began at night. Explosions and rumbling from it were heard even in Taormina and Catania, which are at a distance of about 50 and 40 kilometers. The Sicilian Civil Defense Agency said that all tourists and guides who were on the volcano at the time of its eruption were escaped from there and safely evacuated. The eruption stopped late last night, with all three lava flows now cooling down. Individual ash emissions have dissipated near the volcano's summit and tremors have decreased to low levels. The Observatory of the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology said, according to the observatory, although Etna is one of the most active volcanoes in the world, there has not been an eruption of this magnitude since 2014. The head of the Sicilian region, Renato Scafani, said there was no danger to the public at the moment, but advised tourists to take maximum precautions and avoid visiting the volcano's summit until further notice. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Mount Etna is an active volcano on the east coast of Sicily and the highest active volcano in Europe. Its maximum height is about 3,320 meters. It varies, increasing as a result of deposition during eruptions and decreasing as a result of periodic collapse of the crater rim. In 1865, the summit of the volcano was about 52 meters higher than it is at the beginning of the 21st century. Etna covers an area of about 1,600 square kilometers, with a base circumference of about 150 kilometers. The last time Etna volcano eruption was reported in the summer of last year. Then its activity affected the work of airports and led to flight delays. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Etna is an active volcano on the east coast of Sicily and the highest active volcano in Europe. Its maximum height is about 3,320 meters. It fluctuates, increasing due to deposition during eruptions and decreasing due to periodic crater collapse. In 1865, the summit of the volcano was about 52 meters higher than at the beginning of the 21st century. Etna has an area of about 1,600 square kilometers and a base circumference of about 150 kilometers. The last time the eruption of the Etna volcano was reported last summer. Then its activity affected the work of airports and led to delays in flights. That Europe's highest volcano, Etna, located on the Italian island of Sicily, spewed ash and lava from its southeastern crater at a height of 2,900 meters. Even the lava flows split into three parts and rushed down the slope to the southeast. Noise from the volcanic eruption was heard in the surrounding villages. Europe's highest volcano, Etna, located on the Italian island of Sicily, spewed ash and lava from its southeastern crater at a height of 2,900 meters. The lava flows split into three parts and rushed down the slope to the southeast. The noise of the volcanic eruption was heard in the surrounding villages. Employees of the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology in Catania confirmed the volcano's activity. An orange aviation danger level was declared overnight due to volcanic material emissions. However, Catania Airport continued to operate normally. The eruption of the Etna volcano has become the fourth since the beginning of April. The previous period of activity was observed in February. Specialists note that the character of eruptions can vary from calm, when lava slowly flows to the surface, to explosive. Our Earth is not all hard rock through and through. Rather, it resembles an egg, a thin hard shell on top, a viscous layer of hot mantle underneath, and a hard core in the center. The Earth's shell is called the lithosphere, which means rock shell in Greek. The thickness of the lithosphere is on average about 1% of the radius of the globe. On land it is 70 to 80 kilometers, and in the depths of the oceans can be as little as 20 kilometers. The lithosphere is riddled with faults and resembles a mosaic. Our Earth is not entirely made of solid rock, but rather resembles an egg, a thin hard shell on top, a viscous layer of hot mantle underneath, and a hard core in the center. The Earth's shell is called the lithosphere, which means rock shell in Greek. The thickness of the lithosphere averages about 1% of the radius of the globe on land. It is 70 to 80 kilometers, and in the depths of the oceans it can reach 20 kilometers. The lithosphere is riddled with faults and looks like a mosaic. The temperature of the mantle is thousands of degrees. Closer to the core, the temperature is higher. Closer to the shell, less, because of the temperature difference. The mantle's substance is stirring. Hot masses are rising up, and cold masses are falling down, just like boiling water in a pot or kettle, but it happens thousands of times slower. The mantle, although heated to enormous temperatures, but because of the enormous pressure in the center of the Earth, it is not liquid, but viscous, like a very thick tar. The shell lithosphere seems to float in the viscous mantle, slightly sinking into it under the weight that reaching the base of the lithosphere. The cooling mass of the mantle moves horizontally along the hard rock shell for some time, but then, having cooled down, it descends again towards the center of the Earth. As the mantle moves along the lithosphere, pieces of the shell, lithospheric plates, move along with it, with individual parts of the rock mosaic colliding and crawling over each other. The part of the plate that is underneath, on which another plate crawled, gradually sinks into the mantle and begins to melt. This forms magma, a thick mass of molten rock with gases and water vapor. Magma is lighter than the surrounding rocks, so it slowly rises to the surface and accumulates in the so-called magma centers, which are located most often along the collision line of the plates. Magma is more fluid than mantle, but still quite thick. In Greek, magma means thick paste or dough. The part of the plate underneath it, on which the other plate was crawling, gradually sinks into the mantle and begins to melt. The result is magma, a thick mass of molten rock with gases and water vapor. Magma is lighter than the surrounding rocks, so it slowly rises to the surface and accumulates in so-called magma centers, which are most often located along the plate collision line. Magma is more fluid than the mantle, but still quite dense. In Greek, magma means thick paste or dough. The behavior of hot magma in a magmatic center really resembles yeast dough. Magma increases in volume, occupies all available space, and rises from deep within the Earth through cracks, trying to break free. As the dough lifts the lid of the pot and flows over the edge, so magma breaks through the Earth's crust in the weakest places and bursts to the surface. This is the eruption of a volcano. Volcanoes that have been silent for 300, 500, and 800 years have erupted. Volcanoes that have erupted at least once in human memory and may erupt again are called dormant. Volcanoes, extinct or ancient. Volcanoes are those that were active in the distant geological past. For example, the capital of Scotland, Edinburgh, stands on an ancient volcano that erupted more than 300 million years ago. There were no dinosaurs back then. To summarize, as a result of the movement of lithospheric plates, magma centers can arise. If liquid magma bursts to the surface of the Earth, a volcanic eruption begins. Often a volcanic eruption is accompanied by powerful explosions. This is due to the degassing of magma and the explosion of combustible gases. A volcano goes to sleep if the supply of new portions of magma. Volcanoes die out permanently if plate movement in the area stops. If the video was interesting, please put a like and subscribe to the channel.